o'clock, and we are live with an unexpected emergency live tonight, talking all about my adventures of delivering today. Went out for about 11 hours, I guess, in total. And today was an eventful day, no doubt about it. I will wait for people to come on in the room and get started. I see somebody's already liked the stream. Always appreciate the likes that come in before the stream starts. But we are going to talk all about it. I'm going to explain to you how I got pulled over twice on the same delivery and what the end result was of it. And if you were out delivering today, let me know. How was your day? It started out as just an absolute downpouring rainy day here, and then it cleared out and got normal Florida heat afterwards. So sunny and hot all from probably about noon on. So I was actually really excited this morning to deliver in the rain because we have air conditioner, which means we have a defroster again, and had my headlights repaired. And so I was ready to go, and then like right away ran through like a way deeper puddle than I thought it was, and like my battery started glitching, and but everything came out of that okay, and or so I thought. We'll get to that in a little bit. But so yeah, how was your delivery today? This is Saturday, June something. I have no idea what day it is. First Saturday in June, I think. No, I know what day of the week it is. It's just been that's what it is. June, what is it? June 7th, June 8th, something like that. So, as you're coming in, let me know how was your day, how was your delivery day. Usually it takes a minute or two for the stream to start populating. And let's just open with this question. What is the last thing that you got pulled over for? Did you get a ticket or did you get out of the ticket? So what was the last thing that you got pulled over for? How long ago was it? Did you get a ticket? Did you get out of the ticket? Did you get a warning? I had gone a lot of years, like, I don't know, a decade plus. I feel like, I don't know for sure. It had been a long time since I had gotten pulled over. And I, and I've been pulled over now with this old car that I'm in, this 2004 Pontiac Vibe, about 5 times now in the last year. So anyway, so I will tell the rest of my story. It looks like starting to populate to the feeds. Thanks for coming in. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe on this. And so I'm going to tell a little bit about my story, but we're starting with when's the last time you got pulled over? And what was it for? How long ago was it? Thank you guys for all the love and all the hearts. I appreciate it. Um, I'm in Florida, by the way. I'll get to all your comments here that I can in a little bit. So make sure you stay tuned to the end of the stream. I'll get through and I will comment on as many as I can. When's the last time you got pulled over? What was it for? Did you get a ticket? Did you get out of the ticket? So I would love to know and share that information if you want to share that. So I got pulled over tonight. So here's the story. It was just after sunset. So sunset here is about 8:20 or so. So this was like 8:30. I just picked up a Grubhub order for Chipotle, and it'd been just a good day. Like I said, it had rained a lot at the start of the day today, and then followed it up with just a pretty sunny, warm, normal Florida day. And but anyway, picked up this order, and I did know, I saw earlier today at some point that my headlight had gone out, but it was still pretty light out, and the other headlight was on. And I know, obviously, you can be pulled over for having one headlight out, but it seems like you rarely see that around here. And so Um, I was driving one way, and I was at a stoplight. Police officer was at a stoplight going the other direction, and as soon as I went through, they just pulled the U-turn. I pretty much knew what that meant, and yeah, I got pulled over for having a headlight out. So got that, and so did all the paperwork stuff, like license, registration, insurance, all those good things. It was all clear. No ticket, just a warning. Get the headlight fixed, and continued to drive. And she realized I was a delivery person, so I continued to drive, and got maybe what 2 miles, 2 miles more down the road. Mind you, this was only like a 6 mile delivery. So the first 2 miles got pulled over, and then about 2 miles later, another officer comes up right behind me and pulls me over. And I was already kind of like shaken. I don't know if you haven't been pulled over in a while, um, it kind of just like messes with your head, even if you don't get a ticket or anything like that. It just kind of messes with your head. And so I just was like, I pulled over right away the second time, but I was in the left lane, and he was not happy that I pulled over to the left lane, and you're supposed to pull over to the right side. And so anyway, then he told me, no, I'll follow behind you. We can get over the right side. So I did that. And he took my license, and he came back like, he didn't even ask for the other paper. He came back like a minute later. He's like, did you just get pulled over? I was like, yep. He's like, okay, just letting you know about the headlight. And so I'm like, thanks. And then I got to the customer, dropped it off, and apologized for the delay because she had her phone out. She was watching. And she's probably seeing all these random stops I'm making. And I let her know. I was like, sorry, I got pulled over twice, twice on the way to a single delivery. So, anyway, I would love to hear, when was the last time that you got pulled over? What was it for? How long ago was it? Did you get a ticket? Did you get out of it? But here, the story doesn't end there. So, not only that, she then, despite all that, she handed me an extra cash tip. And I actually didn't even look at it because I was so just mentally messed up after that. And so I was like, I don't even know how much it was, just a few dollars, nothing like crazy. So I was like, so I said, well, thanks. I'll use that to get the headlight fixed. Well, I was only a few miles from home, so obviously I decided to go home because I was like, I don't want to. If I get pulled over 3 times in one night, what are the odds that that police officer is also going to let me out off without it, without a ticket? Like I think at a certain point you're really pushing your luck, and I didn't have any deliveries in the car at that point, and so I was like, so I went home and unloaded my stuff. And then I just thought, well, let me at least take a look because it was only like, I want to say it was like 9 o'clock or so, like about an hour ago. And so I put the hood up, and I know how to change the bulbs on this thing. Well, anyway, the connector for the bulb was just completely, completely melted, like just melted, and it was like, and so then I had a spare bulb, and I tried plugging it in just to see if it was like, and it like immediately popped the bulb, and I was like, oh. So for those of you who have been following this feed, I got my headlights repaired on Tuesday, and it was good for like the last 3 days, and then out again today. And yeah, that's just the nature, I guess, of having a 20-year-old car for food deliveries. So then the other subtitle in this is like, do you laugh or do you cry? And I want to dig into that a little bit here. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to read all the comments. It looks like we tend to get an initial rush right away at the beginning, and then everyone's looking for me to say things. Like I'm learning how this stream thing goes, and then they all disappear. But for those of you that did hang around, I will get around to reading all your comments. So on this emergency double delivery night, what are you drinking? I had an abandoned Instacart order today, and this was in it. This is like Bai Wonderful water, and this is strawberry lemon lime. So I got like 8 of these. So this is what I'm drinking tonight. This is my free drink reward. The only thing I don't like about it is the lids don't actually twist off the greatest. But there we go. So that's what I'm going to drink. But with that in mind, what are you guys drinking tonight? Um, I'm going to read the comments. Oh, let me just preface one other like a discussion to kind of have with this, which is this idea of just constant setbacks. Do you feel like you have constant setbacks in your life, and how do you approach it? Right? Do you laugh? Do you cry? You know, do you give up? Do you just keep pushing forward? And there's a lot of stuff, and so I want to dig into that a little bit tonight. This is kind of honestly, this stream is more for me than anything else. Like we said, like normally our streams are going to be 10 o'clock on Sunday through Thursday nights, but I'm in because I wasn't even gonna. I can't do electrical. I don't do electrics. I'm gonna have to have somebody repair it, and it's like I'm not even gonna try to fix it tonight. And even if I was gonna try to fix it, I wouldn't do it in the dark. I'd wait till daylight. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna be home, so I might as well do a stream and debrief. So I'm gonna go ahead and read comments here, get caught up on stuff. I know I know a lot of you are probably no longer here. I can tell that, but I still like and I appreciate the comments on all of you because it helps get this live stream going and out to a lot of different people. So I would love to if you guys could explain to me because I'm always wanting to learn, and if I'm trying to balance this line here of trying to be helpful and socializing with you, but also not getting myself into trouble, not getting this channel into trouble, because obviously live streams are live, and I know that there's lots of attempts to trick people into saying things on live streams. And so, if you could educate me, whether you're watching this live or in replay, when people are coming, because I get this almost every feed. So I want to learn, and I know I could research, but maybe someone here knows the answer. We get lots of these. Can you name this? Can you give me the name of this for an edit, please? Um, I would love to know kind of what's the thought process behind these types of questions. Like, are they being turned into videos? Are you just pulling, like, are you doing a survey? Is there something nefarious behind all this? Is it just a fun little thing? Um, so do that. Amine, welcome. Laylee, hi. Thanks for chiming in. Patrick, do I live in Canada? No, I'm live in the United States. But there, if you're wanting a country, now I just said two of them, so you can do that. Uh, hello to Algeria. Um, let's see. We got lots of foreign languages and stuff from there. Hi from Russia. Hi from the United States. Back to you. Um, hey, Shani, don't give up. Yeah, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more tonight about not giving up. Pumbaa, hello. Um, hello from Mongolia. Hello back to Mongolia. Tommy Thunder, how you doing? Thank you so much for tuning in. And yes, if you haven't done so yet, would you please hit that like button? We are on our journey to 500 subscribers. I forgot to check before we went live. We have a short that's doing pretty well right now. It's pulling on some subscribers. Um, and so I think we're like 476, 477 going into the stream. So yeah, if you haven't hit the like button, appreciate it. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, also appreciate those, as well as all the time for watch hours. So for those coming in now, I got pulled over twice tonight for a headlight that was out, just one, not both. And it wasn't even super dark out. So I know you can get pulled over for a single headlight, but the number of cars I see driving around with a single headlight seems like way more than the number of times I see them get pulled over. And so I got pulled over in a span of 5 minutes. Just kind of told that whole story. So we're opening our question with when's the last time you got pulled over? What was it for? Did you get a ticket? Did you get out of it? Sorry, I'm still pretty thirsty coming in, and it's an adrenaline, not necessarily in a good way, right? But like when you get pulled over, at least for me, it messes with your head. You get tense, even if you like don't get a ticket, right? It just like, whew. So pardon me if I'm a little bit out of it tonight. This is just kind of a little bit of me processing it, but it definitely feels like their life in general, but my life. Hey, Missy, how's it going? We're kind of chit chatting right now and just talking in general. So um, after we get through like the first initial things, how I need to the channel. I don't know exactly what you mean, but if there's a like and a subscribe button, usually below this feed, if someone else can direct. So, hey, awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in, hanging out with us. So, we're talking about last time we got pulled over. What was it for? Did you get a ticket? Did you get out of it? How long ago was it? After I got pulled over twice on the same delivery tonight. It was kind of a strange day, though. Like I said, it started rainy and then sunny. I totally biffed one order today. Um, it was a big order. It was like a $20 order, but it was also going 16 miles. It was really long, and it was pizza. And I had to do some interstate miles, just like your grandpa. Awesome. Great, great beards and great faces. I guess that's how it works. Um, and anyway, a car cut me off right as I was going to the exit. I slam on the brakes, and it was save the pizza or save the car. Couldn't do both, and the pizza went down. So, um, so we did lost that pizza order, and so that was kind of a bummer. And then later on, I had an Instacart order, went to deliver, um, and the customer wasn't there, didn't respond, and so then ended up having that order canceled. So I had two orders that didn't go well today. So, um, all right, Carrie King Crates. I got pulled over, Watkinsville area. Is my audio good, Carrie? By the way, if it's not, I can try going off the mic. It might be a little echoey. So, um, anyway, been given the police free coffee after I've been given the police. Oh, awesome. Okay, just sounds good. Like I have two sets of these headphones. I definitely need to affiliate link these because they've held up well, but I'm just never sure. I did one stream the other day and it was kind of crackly afterwards. So good. Thanks for letting me know. Appreciate that. Um, I've been giving the police free coffee for months. He gave me a warning and said it was all due to all that awful free coffee. He was joking, of course. Yeah, like I'm not saying all that there's no corruption within the police force or anything like that. Um, but I find, at least in most of these small to mid-sized towns, as long as you're friendly, polite, you're working, if there's a reason, if there's something you did, most of the time they're going to let you off without a warning because they're probably on to the next thing. But it's, you know, there's always a chance you'll get the ticket or whatever. I mean, fortunately, um, it does seem, and I don't know, maybe this is just whatever, not true, but it seems to me that they give delivery drivers a little leeway here because they know a lot of us don't have the greatest cars and all these different things. And so, like, even the first officer that pulled me over, one of her first questions was, "Do you have an active delivery going on now?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Okay, I'll try to get you out of here as quick as possible." Of course, the second one didn't know about it till he ran, and he came back and said, "Did you just get pulled over?" So Missy, I can't really see. I'll like it's your icons are like super small on my screen. So I I really can't. It looks kind of like I see like two eyes, but they're really small. So anyway, um, and we don't curse here. I don't know if you're actually 6 years old or not. If you are actually 6 years old, um, we try to be family friendly. I don't know if this is really like a topic that's on point for you, but no, we don't. I don't control everyone in the chat, but I don't curse. I just don't curse in my own life at all. No, not at all. I don't curse out loud in front of other people ever at all. Sometimes, Maybe when I'm by myself and frustration boils over, I'll say some choice words, but we don't curse on this stream. There's the reality, right? Like sometimes we don't always act the way we should, but we don't curse on this stream. I can tell you that for sure. Well, happy birthday to you. Like I said, I think there's probably more fun channels on YouTube for you than this one, but we appreciate you tuning in as well. So, so what do you do? What do you do in life when it feels like every time it's one step forward, two steps back, right? Like, isn't that like a famous song, one step forward, two steps back? You know, it feels that way, and it's like it almost to the point that it's comical in nature. You know, almost to the point that it's like, is someone messing with me on purpose? Right? I'm a big fan of The Truman Show, for those of you who know that movie, right? And it's like Truman starts to realize that, like, he can't put it all together, right? But after a while, he's starting to realize, like, wait a second, this person's going to be right here, right at this time, and this person's going to be right there, right at that time, and it's like he starts to realize that like people are messing with him, right? And so, um, it's it's been that like we highlighted one of our streams we did earlier this week was celebrating that the car was repaired and everything else, and then like headlights were fixed, air conditioning was fixed, and believe me, it's been great. Um, Great having air conditioning after not having it for a year and a half, right? Like I'm super thankful for that. But then to have like, and it's not just like the headlight was out, right? It's like the whole headlight socket that it plugs into is completely melted. Like, how is that even a thing? You know what I mean? Like of all the things that can be a thing, how is the headlight socket just being completely melted? How is that a thing? And it's like, of course, it's a thing that I can't just fix today. And you know, it's not like just a switching a bulb, right? I actually had a spare headlight bulb, so I could have done it. And I even kind of got the headlight working, but as it was jiggling, like before I pulled it out and inspected it, I was like, oh, like, so that's what it is. Maurice, hey, thanks for chiming in. I keep it could be worse mentality, pressure and stress motivate me. Um, yeah, sometimes I'm there, and then other times it's just like you just get broken. Like, and sometimes it's not the big thing that breaks me. Sometimes it's the little thing, right? It's like that. What's that old phrase? The straw that broke the camel's back. It's like, you know, everything can be like I can handle this, I can handle this, I can handle this, and it's like really like that little thing becomes the thing that just sets you off or sets me off in different things. And I mean, I don't feel broken tonight, but it's still discouraging because it's like, okay, um, yesterday was a slow day here. And so then I was like, okay, I plotted it out and I tried some new strategies and had some different ideas, and it actually worked pretty well. Um, I went I went north. I went further north than I normally do, and had pretty good orders. Like I had nothing on Instacart the whole day yesterday, literally zero. Made $0 on Instacart yesterday, and all my earnings came DoorDash and Uber Eats. And so I really wanted to get some Instacart today, and so I went north, got good Instacarts, had like a bunch of good batches, $150 worth of Instacart on top of my DoorDash and Uber Eats today. And I was like, okay, I got a shot. I was definitely on pace for like getting to $300. Not quite in 12 hours. It wasn't going to be 25 an hour, but I thought I could get there in about 14, something like that. And it was just like, and I if I just gotten pulled over once, I probably would have stayed out. But as soon as I got pulled over a second time, I'm like, if I get pulled over a third time, I really can't afford a ticket. You know, um, I just like I can't afford a ticket. Like on top of everything else, like on top of this now, this thing now. I don't think it's going to be super expensive, but it's still going to be time, and it's electrical. It's probably not something that I can do myself, and it is what it is. And when you're just battling and you're fighting, and we deal here with a lot of getting out of debt, and it's like it's so crazy. Like every time that you just like make that progress on, hey, look, I got a shot at getting just a little bit of momentum. It's like, man, you just get slammed and you get pounded. And it's like, come on, really? Really? Like, and yeah, so I mean that's kind of how it is, and I wouldn't be surprised if later tonight I'll be maybe a little more frustrated and angry than I am right now. I'm still in the it's comical phase, like it's just what else can you do but laugh? Um, and I certainly don't want to give up, because that's like the opposite of everything that we're going for on this channel, like pushing and going through things. Um, so, hey, Missy, I'm not really sure who you're talking to, but I think if you're not going to kind of stay somewhat on topic here, I think I'm going to just kind of have to send you out, like, because this really doesn't, not really the direction we want the stream to go. So appreciate you tuning in, but um, anyway, so I don't know if you're, I'm not sure exactly what's going on here, but anyway, we're just trying to. I've said this before. I know I'm going to have to put chat filters on eventually because YouTube is YouTube. Um, I'm trying to keep the stream open as long as I can, and that's also part of the reason why that I'm trying to get to the 500 subscriber level and the 3,000 watch hours, so we can actually start having channel memberships and stuff, so we can do some like specific members only stuff. So anyway, the more that you can help with watch time and likes and subscribes for everyone who is on the chat, um, definitely appreciate all of that going on. Anyway, it's like it's hard to battle, and always the question is, right. So here's the question, and I'm a Christian, I'm a follower of Jesus too, so I look at this question through both a physical and a spiritual lens, and it's am I supposed to push through, or am I supposed to pivot, right? Am I supposed to push through, or am I supposed to pivot? And this is one of the hardest questions to make a determination of. When you're running your own business, and when you're making decisions for friendships, relationships, like, are we supposed to push through this, or are we supposed to pivot? Like, are are we, and from the spiritual side, so I'll pose a question from the spiritual side: is God teaching me perseverance, or is God closing the door and trying to redirect me, right? But even if you don't want to look at it through the spiritual lens, just through the physical lens, like, is this something that I'm supposed to push through, or is it telling me to pivot? And so you see this with professional athletes all the time, right? They're constantly, when they start to get injuries, right? They're constantly making the determination: am I supposed to push through this injury, or am I supposed to pivot and actually go on the injured list, get surgery, and especially in the football season, right? By the end of the NFL season, pretty much every player is hurting in some way, and the vast majority push through. And on the opposite side, a handful of people who can't push through have had to pivot to surgery, to whatever else it is that's going on. Um, yeah, we're gonna we're gonna just do we're gonna just do that for now, because that was a little too much. Um, it's a hard determination thing that we have here. Hey, okay, hold on. I'm trying to remember because my brain is total mush right now. It's hold on. Z06 vet. Right? Is that right? Did I get it right? Z06 vet. Please tell me I got this right. If I didn't, I'm gonna like be really upset with myself. I'm like, I'm waiting in suspense here. Yes, I'm working. I'm trying to do it. Hey, welcome back. So I don't know, like, uh, this is gonna be one of those things. I'm gonna have to start studying YouTube videos of how to handle live streams and stuff like that. Like I know at the beginning, it is so crazy that like you just get hit with like 20 or 25 viewers all at once, and like, I just let them do their thing for the most part because it just comes so fast, and then I'll just skip reading comments that really have nothing to do with anything. Um, but that was just too much. I couldn't handle. I appreciate you, Missy, but um, I just couldn't do that anymore. Plus, I have to learn how to use these tools anyway. Um, it's just a 24-hour thing, so give it a try the next time we do a live stream, which might be tomorrow night. Just come back on and focus on the topic. Yeah, like so what are the questions you ask yourself? And I mean, some of this stuff is this is maybe the content for a video, but I would love to have this dialogue with you. So like when you come up against something, and I'm not just talking one time, right? Like, so if I'm going whatever. If you're I'm trying to think of a good example. Okay, so like if you're wanting to exercise and you're trying to like beat some sort of record, a personal record in the fastest time that you've ever run or whatever. Like if you come up against that and it's a good goal and you hit it, like, and you just can't get across, of course you're going to train, you're going to push. But I'm talking about like life direction things. Like how do you know, right? So how do you know when it's time to move on from something like doing this delivery work as this like primary mode of all these things that you're doing? Like is it and I even just joke about it with other people, like, is it just because it's a 20-year-old car and this is what happens to 20-year-old cars when you're putting you know 1,000 miles on a 20-year-old car every week? Is that just how in other words, is there nothing, is there no sign here? Is it just life, right? Life is a 20-year-old car. If you put 1,000 miles on it a week, it's just gonna have issues. Like, is that the answer here, right? Or is God, is the universe, is the world, is circumstance trying to push me in another direction? Or, right, from the flip side of the spiritual, like, is the devil trying to get me to quit, right? Like all these different things. And so I would just kind of be interested in whether you approach it from the spiritual or the non-spiritual. I think like it doesn't matter. I would love to know kind of what sort of questions you ask yourself when you hit a roadblock. Like, what are the evaluation questions? What are the things that you do where you say, okay, this is, I really need to consider this, and like getting pulled over for a headlight out could happen any night, right? That's not the issue. But it's like after you just got the headlights fixed a couple of days ago for them to go out again. After you just got the air conditioning fixed, so you can go, and yesterday was just like probably one of the worst Fridays of delivery that I've had in months. It's like, ugh. And I mean, there are other little frustrations in life. I'm not going to dig into all of them, but like this whole idea of just really trying to push through, get out of debt, and like still trying to do things. Like we're still trying to be involved with our church. Our son's doing baseball, trying to help out with that. I'm not like a head coach, but I'm like helping the coaches. Like we're trying to do things that we know like are good things, helping other people, reaching out to other people. Like we're trying to be consistent even in the midst of like some of our frustrations and struggles. And yet it's like roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. And I was telling you about how I messed up my pizza order earlier today and like ruined a pizza. And my wife told me, she's like, she had spilled something in the fridge that ended up causing a big mess. And I was like, isn't it so funny that like we're doing completely different things and we each like just ruined a food thing, like completely on our own, but almost at exactly the same time. Like there's coincidence, and then there's just like you just have to laugh. It's so all right, Maurice, appreciate you chiming in. So let's read this. And if you guys have thoughts, like this is like I'm saying, this is tonight's stream is for me. I'd do this stream tonight even if no one was watching. But I'm glad that you are here. So anything that you guys got. So I tend to rationalize it as a test. Truly believe God wouldn't put me in something couldn't get out of, but also conversely realize sometimes you have to go through things. Yeah, and it just there gets to be a point where it's like, okay, I'm done. Like right, like not I quit in the sense of I give up, but like I'm tapping out. I'm tapping out. Like I'm done. Like you win circumstances, devil, God, um, life, you win. I'm tapping out. Like I need to go back and train. Like can I get a breather, right? Like um, this idea of like can I just have like a normal, semi-normal week for once, right? Like that's like the question. Like and I know what I'm going through now is going to refine me and make me into a better person. And I know the things that I've gone through over the last few years, in this whole process of getting into debt and getting into these things, um, has refined me and made me probably a significantly better person than had I never gone through it. And but at the same time, it's like, okay, I kind of would like to be done here. You know what I mean? Like, I'd kind of I kind of like it if we did that joke back on Memorial Day. If you saw that short, we referenced in some live streams about how the Infinity car dealership was making fun of my car. Like, and I did a short on it, and like, okay, can we get the brand deal? Can we? All right, Infinity. Like, there's big brands that want to work with small YouTubers out there. It's like, I'm here, I'm here. I think I can provide a positive message. I think I can represent your products well. And it's like, um, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I like that. A mental water break. That is like such a good thing because like we're Florida, right? And then like with my son's baseball team, it's fun to watch these kids because like water. Can we get coach? Can we have a water break? Coach, can we have a water break? Like if you gave them the choice, they'd have a water break every 10 minutes, and of course that's not good either. But oh yeah, it's like when it rains, it pours, right? Like, I mean, I'm sure, like all of these sayings that you've heard time and time again, like I feel like I'm living them. I'm like, I'm just trying to brainstorm. Like, I want something, and I want to create something or do something that can just open the floodgates and turn the tide. I mean, I'm using so many phrases and stuff like this. Hey, thanks for tuning in. If you can Google Translate that and it's on topic and relevant, I would love to read it. Um, but I can't do that while I'm on a live stream. So, but thanks for tuning in. I can't even say your name because I believe that's Russian, which is funny because I know some Greek, and to me, Russian and Greek at first glance always kind of look similar, and then I'm like, no, it's not Greek. I don't know Greek well, but I know it enough. But to know that it's not Greek. And if it was, I think actually there was someone writing in Greek earlier in the stream, unless that was also Russian too. Um, but I don't know. Some of these things, let's see. Oh no, that might have been Russian as well. They said they were from Russia. Yeah, it's like I want to see the floodgates open, but obviously if they haven't opened yet, that there's still more that needs to be done. Um, but but yeah, like you can't quit. I mean, you can, but quitting's worse than pushing through. But I would lie if I wouldn't tell you that yeah, there's not frustration and there's not like and I think the hard part is because my frustration isn't at the car, right? I'm not angry at the car. I'm not angry at a police officer for pulling me over and doing my job. Now, that being said, I see tons of things every day driving around that I think should be pulled over before one headlight that's out. Back in the day, we called them padiddles. I don't know any of you remember that term. Like it was a padiddle, it was like a one headlighted car, and I feel like I've seen thousands of them in my life and never seen one pulled over. But I'm not, I'm joking. But I'm just my frustration goes back to my decisions that brought me to this point. And I think this is the difficult part. So this is kind of the getting real. So if you like the YouTubers who get real, like not in a crazy way here, but like I can replay, and I do, and I'm trying not to, right? Because I'm trying to move on and I'm trying to grow. But I replay back in my mind if I had just done this differently, or if I had just done this differently, and 2 or 3 or 4 years, like different decisions. If I just made this decision differently, um, we had some fun with the whole GameStop stock this week. We referenced it in some of our live streams and having fun. And I've got a few GameStop shares in one of my accounts, and um, I know people who are playing this trade with GameStop, AMC, have some AMC shares, and we did some posts on it and stuff like that. But I had a time during the first run up of AMC. If I had just clicked the button, it would have, at that time, it would have paid off all my debt. Like I had that opportunity to click a button because I'd made a good investment, but I got greedy and ended up making some, but nowhere near enough because I thought, oh, it was just gonna keep going, and you replay in your mind like, oh, whatever it was 4 years ago. If I clicked the button 4 years ago, or 4.5 years ago, 3.5 years ago, I don't remember the exact time because I know there were a couple of different run ups. It's like if I clicked the button then my life is completely different, right? It's like that's literally the plot of like movies. Like if you just click the button, if you just made one different decision, what's you guys remember that old Ashton Kutcher movie, The Butterfly Effect, right? But here's what you don't know. When you rewind and you click the button in your mind, it says it fixes all those problems. But what you don't know is what new string, what new series of problems did you create by doing that? And would I be here with you today? Like, would I? Probably not. Like this whole endeavor. So I'm going to trust and I'm going to believe that the direction God's bringing me to is not just in spite of my failures, right? But because of my failures. Like it's an interesting, and I'm not going to go too deep theologically. We're doing some every couple of weeks we're going to do some Sunday morning like Bible things for gig workers. I'm not going to push them out to everyone, but they're going to be on the channel. So if you want to do that, I posted one about Jonah a couple weeks ago, but the video got messed up. So that's going to repost tomorrow morning. So I'm not going to go too deep here because that in terms of the Bible side of things, but essentially you have to come to this conclusion of, is your life usable in spite of all the mistakes you've made, or is your life usable because of the mistakes that you've made? And I really want to believe, and I really want to live the ethic of that. I'm there are even how do I phrase this? Even though there might be a more ideal situation in my mind, that I am where I am right now to accomplish things that I could only accomplish had I gone through everything that brought me up till now. I hope that kind of makes sense. And uh, I believe that to be true, and I need to believe that to be true. Because if not, like, then it's just discouragement. And so it's like there's a huge danger to playing what if, right? What if? And my buddy has a great phrase that he taught me. He said, if what ifs were fifths, we'd all be drunk, right? So Kerry King creates, by the way, mentioned this the other night on the stream, but he is starting to do some content on YouTube. And so if you're a creator and you want to learn some things about the creative journey and different things, definitely recommend his channel. Look him up. He needs some subscribers, so let's send people his way. But when to pivot versus when to push through, it's a great question, right? And I mean, that's the difference, right? The Because all the memes, all the advice is going to be, don't quit, don't ever give up, right? But what if you just turned around, right? Like, so let's say you're digging in a mine and you're going deeper and deeper and deeper, and you're like, don't quit, don't ever give up. What if you just turned around and looked at the other wall and it was full of gold and you missed it because you were kept digging, right? Like, I, I don't know if there's a great answer. I do think at a certain point in time, you just have to get the conviction of, this is the right thing for me to do, or this is not the right thing for me to do. And if it's not the right thing for me to do, then do that. But when you're trying to pursue and get your way out of debt, it's really hard to give up something that is bringing in some money when you're living day to day and paycheck to paycheck and payout to payout and different things like that. Like, it's hard to risk giving that thing up, even though there might be something better. Um, it's hard to look at tomorrow when you're trying to get through today. And um, so we're going to kind of keep developing this thought, and this is a lot of what I'm processing. And it definitely gets me thinking, like, okay, what if I pushed really, really hard to sell as much as I possibly can on eBay and Facebook over like the next week and a half, right? And if because there's this part of me that's thinking, like, as much as I enjoy making the DoorDash videos and stuff, like, my car is 20 years old. It's taking a beating, and it's not like we have two cars. It's our family vehicle. It's our vehicle to get to baseball games. It's our vehicle to get to church. Um, it come when the school year starts. My wife's vehicle to get to work. Like, we have one car for our family. It's like, I gotta make sure I'm stewarding that car well as well. Like, now that we have the air conditioning fixed in it, now that it's a little more bearable, is there a way that I can cut back on the miles that I'm putting on that, at least until I get a second vehicle, right? Like, if you have two vehicles and it's like, okay, if one has to go in the shop, then you're still good. Um, but at some point, I'm going to put the things that I wish I knew before I started doing food delivery. And honestly, that would be thing number one is, I wish I knew that you need to have two vehicles if it's going to be your primary income. If you're just doing this as a side hustle, it's not as big of a deal, right? Because you could just be uh, like, my car's in the shop. I guess I'm just not going to deliver for a couple of days. But when you're trying to make X amount of dollars per day and you're trying to use this to, like, you can't go without a car. And if you're going to do the car rental option, like, then you've got to not, I mean, I think it's doable, but you've got to put in extra hours to cover the car rental cost. And you also have to have the money up front to be able to do the rental in the first place. And so it's like, there's just lots of things that I'm processing with all of this. And it's like, okay, we can get this next headlight thing, but I know there's more things that are going to need to be fixed on that car soon. It's not like, fix the headlights and okay, now I'm good for another 2 years, right? Like, that's not what it is. Because when you're driving and you're, like I said, it's 1,000 miles a week if you're going to do this full time. If you're trying to make, nah, maybe it's not 1,000. It's 600. It's 100 miles a day, 700 miles a week, probably. If you're out there for like 12-hour shifts, like most days, like, yeah, it's a lot, and it just takes a beating on your vehicle and stuff. So anyway, I'm probably just talking to talk now. If anybody else has any other thoughts, love to hear them. Um, you know, but definitely appreciate you guys catching the emergency live stream tonight. I'll give a little channel update, and if you have any other comments, you can post them now. I'll try to address them. But I was planning on trying to do a live ride along tomorrow night. There's a kids camp at our church tomorrow night, and my kids are going to be there. My wife is going to be helping, and I was going to deliver, and I was going to try doing. This was going to be a surprise, but I was going to try to do like a surprise live stream ride along. I found my old iPhone. I have internet in my car through T-Mobile, so I was going to try to do. I was going to try to figure out how to do that. Basically, just leave that phone in my car. I only have one mount, but I was just going to try to figure out how to do that and just. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that because I don't. I have Maurice. I have a 2004 Pontiac Vibe. 2004 Pontiac Vibe. 20-year-old car, probably 21 years old now. Pontiac doesn't even exist anymore. It's for those of you familiar, it's essentially a Toyota Matrix. It's the same car. It's a Toyota Matrix, but it's just branded as a Pontiac. But all the parts are 100% compatible, at least in that era. A 2004 Toyota Matrix and Pontiac Vibe have all the same parts. So anyway, there may not be any live stream ride along tomorrow. It's just because this is an electrical issue, and I don't think it's something that I would feel. I can replace a bulb, but this is actually like a wiring electrical thing, and I don't think I feel comfortable taking it on. So I think it probably has to. I think it's going to be an easy fix, and I got someone who can fix it relatively cheap. I think, hopefully, it doesn't look like a major part. It doesn't look like the rest of the wiring is fried, but you never know. Or I'm just going to have to not deliver during nights, but we have some night baseball game stuff this week, so it's really not an option. You just have to get fixed. So channel update. So let's see. So we have one video, one short that's just been getting a bunch of crazy views here since yesterday. It was an order that I got yesterday that I picked up, and I guess I didn't phrase it well because people think that I'm the one who bought it, but it was for a wrap and a drink from like a smoothie place, and the cost before, like the cost of at the restaurant was $34. It was a $34 order, and so lots of people are having fun. It's one of my most commented on shorts that I've ever had. So that's what's going. Like I said, there's going to be a little Bible study on Jonah for Christian gig workers and small business owners. It's going to go up tomorrow morning. I think that's scheduled to go up at like 5 a.m. Eastern or whatever. Like I said, I had recorded it and posted it a couple weeks ago, but there was like some sort of mess up with the audio. So if that's not your thing, that's fine. I'm not. It'll be on my channel, but I'm not pushing it out to everyone. It's just gonna be there for those who are interested in that. We posted a video yesterday. I believe it was yesterday morning. Yesterday was really slow, so I ended up just actually having time to record a video in my car, like in the middle of the delivery day. Is it too late to start on YouTube? In Maurice, yes, that car it has lasted a long time, and I generally think it will continue to last a long time, but it just, the wear and tear when you do this delivery work on a regular basis, and it does take a beating too. Not with like nicks and dents so much, but just all the mechanical stuff under the hood. And it was actually a farm vehicle for a couple of years before it got back to us, so there had been mice, and it's just but it has been solid, and I am thankful that we have had it. But it is really hard to have only one vehicle when food delivery is a primary income, because you can't just take a day or a couple weeks off when that's your primary income, because you have to be going out there on a regular basis, and weekends are usually our best money out this way too. Anyway, so posted, is it too late to start on YouTube? So if you're thinking, hey Jasmine, welcome. We're kind of wrapping up for the evening, but we spent some time talking about how I got pulled over on the same delivery twice, 2 times during the same delivery. I got pulled over for a headlight out. So we've been kind of talking about that and when to push through and when to pivot and different things like that. So is it too late to start on YouTube? And I would just definitely encourage all of you that the answer is no. It's not too late to get started. I think we actually need more creators in the space, not less. When you start searching for DoorDash stuff, there's, the same 5 or 6 people come up, and they make really good content. But those 5 or 6 people end up kind of setting the whole discussion for everything. And I don't think that's good. I think we need more voices in this. And I think whether you're talking small business, gig delivery, getting out of debt, I think we need more voices in this, not less. And so I just really want to encourage you, if you're thinking about it, and maybe it's not even about any of those things. Maybe you just want to start creating a channel about your hobby, or start learning how to like start your own business, or just share some expertise with the world. Um, I would just really encourage you, just go for it. Just commit to making 100 videos over the next year. I'm about, what are we? Just over 5 months into this journey. Um, this is my full disclosure, and at some point I'm going to start actually like tracking all this so you can kind of follow along with me. We are not monetized on YouTube yet. In other words, there's 2 levels of monetization on YouTube. One is where you can start doing super chats and stickers. So we are working towards that as a channel. I appreciate your guys' help. Your subscribes and your watch hours are huge in this, and it's one of the reasons. So there's 2 reasons I've been doing the live. 3 reasons I've been doing the live streams. One, I really enjoy connecting and talking. Once the chaos of the beginning of the stream ends, and I know there's ways to prevent that, but I'm trying to leave that be, because I think there's probably some algorithmic benefits to that. But I really enjoy the conversation when everything slows down, when we can talk and I can hear from you and you can hear from me. And I really just enjoy doing that, whether I know you in real life or I don't. And it's because I have friends from real life that come on here, but then you guys who are just joining in either for the first time or multiple, checking in, even if you just say hi for a couple minutes and you don't stay for the whole stream. Like, I appreciate that. So there's that. There are things that I want to teach and I want to share with you, and in both the positive, but also just the realities of life too. But it's also a really good way to help get our watch hours up. And the reason I say hour is because I couldn't do this without you guys. And I know I say this, and I hope you understand. Like, I'm not trying to sound sappy. I'm not trying to, like butter you guys up. But like this whole YouTube world doesn't work without you. Like, I can just talk to a camera all day, and that doesn't do anything. But our journey to going to being debt free, our journey to move from stupid broke to a self-defined millionaire, and hopefully your journey along with us to do that, it takes all of us, and I really appreciate it, and like, I mean it. Like, even the spam comments that come through, I appreciate anything that feeds the YouTube algorithm. Now, I don't want vile stuff and junk on my page and stuff like that, obviously. But I appreciate people coming in, spending time with us. So I'm being very open. I'm gonna finish my buy Wonder Water here. Um, so our goal is to get this channel monetized, and I'm being real and open about it because I believe for all of you, um, that is a potential for you. Now, whether or not that's something you really want to do, I don't know. But I think every one of you can do it. If I can do it without having any sort of super techie background, I'm using, this is my microphone right here. I have 2 sets of these headphones. I use these when I'm out delivering all the time too. That's my microphone, just to hopefully take the echo out of the room and give you a pretty good stream. Let you pull the beard. The beard comments on here are awesome. By the way, if you want to help support this channel, you can't pull the beard, but you can adopt the beard on our Patreon. You can adopt it for a month, or as long as you want to hold it. You can literally adopt this beard for a month. You don't get to keep it. It is my beard, but you can adopt it. We have all sorts of different Patreon levels, including free levels that you can support us on the Patreon for free. But there is a link in the description below that you can adopt this beard. You also can adopt our car. Can you borrow the beard for a month? How about this? So if you adopt the beard, for whoever adopts the beard, should I like mail them one beard hair? But that's the thing is, and they'll probably use it to like clone me, and we don't need more than one of me in the world. So, um, or they'll send it in to like DNA testing and find out that I'm like half Nephilim or something like that. Anyway, um, no borrowing the beard, no pulling the beard, but you can adopt a beard. Adopt a beard is one of the categories, and again, I'm not asking any of you to put any money out if it's not something that you want to do or you're in the position to do. But we do really want to grow this channel, and I think there's a lot of things that I can bring to you in the gig delivery world. And hopefully, we've put out a lot of feeds, and I want to start moving on to live streams. But just keeping the car up and running is tough right now because we don't have that extra cash. And so, like, I'm real and I'm honest with you, and I'm not here begging. you know I'm just like, I just share the reality of things. And Carrie King Creates can vouch because we've had some of these conversations one on one. So like he can vouch for me that like I'm not doing this for anything like I want to help as many of you as I possibly can, and I'm doing what I can um, with nothing. And so I'm just trying to find ways. I spent hours today while I was driving trying to figure out, like, can I just start getting sponsors? Can I, like, do I just need to start going up to car dealerships and say, look, would you sponsor this channel? Like, what's the junkiest car on your lot, but that still runs? Would you consider giving us that so we can do this channel, and like you just be the sponsor of this channel? Like, you're a car dealer. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm I'm racking my brain trying to figure out what I can do to turn this tide, because I want to I want to turn the tide, and I'm I'm at a point where I don't know what else to do. So we're trying to open up the streams of income here, even though I know it's a slow process, which is, you know, first step is 500 subscribers. Second step is 3,000 watch hours. We're at the start of the stream, we're at like, I think it was 476, 477. It was one of those two. That's where we were at the start of the stream. But we're only at like 1,500 watch hours. So like I need to double the watch hours. And so, that's why I'm just asking if you have time to just find a playlist. I have some playlists on the channel to just put it on the background while you're exercising or while you're out delivering or whatever. Anything that you can do there. So when we do that, then we can start opening up super chats, subscriptions, all those different things, opportunities for people, and maybe even some spammy people who just randomly come into the chat and want their comments read, to throw $5 super chats or whatever. Like, anything that we can do to do that. We have the Patreon for those of you, like, that's something that I don't have to wait for to get started. So that's something that we're going to do. I'm keep trying to make quality videos. I'm going to start making very soon. I'm going to start making some eBay videos, Amazon videos, Facebook Marketplace videos. They're all good ways to start getting cash generated. They're all things I have experience with. But again, I'm just limited on the time and the resources to really be able to get into teaching you that on a bigger level. And so there's so much stuff I want to bring to you and help you guys with. So any way that you can support the channel, likes, comments, subscribes, Patreon, um, any of those things, I appreciate all of it. Um, from the smallest comment to the like to watching old videos to any of those things. I appreciate all of it, and that's what we're going towards. I don't know. I don't have the answer to my question of, am I supposed to pivot or am I supposed to persevere, right? And maybe we'll continue this discussion here as it comes up in the weeks ahead. But I think I bring something to the YouTube gig economy that's kind of lacking. I think I bring kind of something different, and I'm trying to do it the best I absolutely can with the resources I have right now. And so, um, your support is what keeps me going. Every way, not just financial support, any and every way, every click, comment, like, recommendation, share. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. Have a great night.